Thursday box office numbers are in, and Shazam is estimated to have earned $2,555,000, and that brings its total earnings for its second week to $34,228,938. I estimated that it would get around about $2.3 million for Thursday, so it's done a little bit better over the top of what I thought it would do, and I said it would get a bit under $35 million for the week, and it got a bit under $35 million for the week, so it's fairly in line for the entire week as to how I thought it would go. And officially right now it is sitting on $104,001,951. So I said it'll probably be a little bit under $104 million, so it's basically about $100,000 more than where I thought it would be at this point in time. The $2.5 million it's estimated to have gotten for Thursday is not enough to keep it at the number one spot, so Shazam has unofficially been deposed from being the number one film at the box office right now. The Curse of La Llorona has an estimated $2.7 million for its Thursday advanced screenings, but they never put down the advanced screenings on the box office for films. They'll add that onto its Friday total. So officially, Shazam was the number one film on Thursday because the $2.7 million for Curse of La Llorona will be added to its Friday total. And at this stage, they're estimating that that should be the number one box office film for the weekend. So Shazam will probably be number two for this weekend coming up here, so that'll be deposed from being the number one film, as it's been for a couple of weeks. And The Curse of La Llorona right now is scheduled to be the new number one film. Probably won't last very long. I don't think anyone thinks it'll be number one next weekend, but it'll be number one for 1 week at least. And if we take a look at our chart with Ant-Man, X-Men First Class, The Wolverine, and Shazam on it, we can see the purple Shazam line is still right over the top of the Wolverine. If we just look at those two by themselves, the Wolverine and Shazam, we can see it is still tight. Okay, it is right in there. Shazam is currently slightly ahead of the Wolverine. It's very hard to tell on the chart if it is or is not ahead of it, but it is slightly ahead. So it did in fact go over the top of the Wolverine the day before Good Friday. I said it'll overtake it on Good Friday, and I'm off by a few $1,000s. It is slightly overtaken it, although these are the projected earnings for Thursday, the official projected earnings. They may change slightly, so it may be possible that Shazam is not in front of the Wolverine right now, but it's very, very close either way. So whether one's in front of the other one, it's a very small amount of money in the scheme of things that's between these two films. When we look at the raw numbers side by side, we have Shazam on the left here and the Wolverine on the right. We have $104,001,951 for Shazam's total gross, and on the equivalent day, which would be August the 8th for the Wolverine, we have $103,986,170. So we've got somewhere around $15,000 between the two films at this point in time. Again, that's an estimated total for the Thursday for Shazam, so it's possible that could go down by $15,000. It could go up as well. So Shazam may very well end up under the Wolverine, but either way, they're very, very, very close. They're in a virtual tie right now. And on a Good Friday, or at least the equivalent Friday for the Wolverine got $2.4 million, and I've been saying we'll get around about $5.7 million for Shazam. Okay, generally speaking, we'll get something like what we got the previous Friday on the Good Friday. And so if we look back up to April 12th, we've got $6.3 million for the previous Friday for Shazam. So I think somewhere under, say, 10% out of that is a safe position to take. Although having said that, so that'll be $5.7 million. Having said that, that is a lot more money than most everywhere else is actually projecting for Shazam to get. So a common figure is somewhere around about $3 to $3.5 million. That's what a lot of the the other estimates are kind of coming in at this point in time. I think that's a bit low simply because Thursday got $2.5 million. That wouldn't be that huge an increase from the Thursday to the Friday. Okay, so I'd still say that it's looking like it should be more than that, but my estimate is a lot different to what most of them are saying. Now, if it does go towards these other estimates, it gets, let's say, $3 million. If you look at that and compare it to the Wolverine, that's still more money than the Wolverine got at the equivalent time. So $3 million versus the $2.4 million. And Shazam will obviously definitely take the lead over the Wolverine at that point in time, if it isn't in fact marginally ahead right now once it gets revised down. And then we're looking at probably around about the same amount of money it gets on Friday as we'll get on the Saturday. Okay, so Saturday and Friday will probably be fairly close in their actual earnings. So if it gets about $3 million on the Friday, it'll probably get around about $3 million on the Saturday. And we can see the Wolverine got $3.2 million there. So if that happens, the Wolverine would then earn about $200,000 more than Shazam. And the Wolverine may, at that point in time, go in front of Shazam again. Now, again, I don't think that'll happen. I think it'll earn more than that. I think it'll get more than this sort of $3 to $3.5 million that a lot of places are saying right now. And if it does earn that, obviously it'll get a lot more money on the Friday, it'll get more money on the Saturday, and it will clearly be ahead, and it will get probably more money on the Sunday. At that point in time, it'll be clear off the Wolverine, and there's no real reason why the Wolverine would then overtake it beyond that point. So once Good Friday's numbers are in, we'll see exactly what's happened, but really no matter what, I think that's it for the Wolverine. I think Shazam will definitely earn more money at the US domestic box office than what the Wolverine earned. And if we look at the next film on my list here, X-Men First Class, and compare that to Shazam, we can see there's a little bit of a gap there between the two still. So X-Men First Class still has a bit of a lead over the top of Shazam, but again, I think Shazam will get quite a nice boost over the Easter holidays here, and that will get it fairly in line, or pretty close to where X-Men First Class will be at the end of the week. So X-Men First Class is roughly on $120 million at the end of this week, or weekend, I should say, at the end of the weekend. And I think Shazam will be fairly close to that. Okay, so maybe a couple of $1 million off, but it should be getting pretty close to $120 million, and then that'll allow it to perhaps overtake X-Men in the coming week. And if we look at the raw numbers here, we've got Shazam on the left and X-Men First Class on the right. And once again, Shazam has the $104 million there for April 18th. And if we look across at June the 16th, the equivalent date for X-Men First Class, it has $108.4 million there. So we've got about $4.5 million in front. It's quite a good lead at this point in time for films because they're basically not earning that much money. So $4 million doesn't sound like that much, but it is a fairly good lead 2 weeks into a run of these two films that aren't earning a lot of money. But if we look at what X-Men First Class earned for its equivalent Friday coming up, it got $3.4 million. So again, if the estimates for Shazam are in line with what a lot of places are saying, Shazam's got a good chance of not going above this $3.4 million. And if Shazam doesn't go over the $3.4 million there, I would say it's probably very, very, very difficult for it to earn more money than X-Men First Class. And so if the Friday numbers, the Good Friday numbers come in and they're not $3.4 million, and if the Saturday's not the equivalent Saturday, $4.4 million, I would say that it cannot overtake X-Men First Class and it will earn less money than X-Men First Class. But I still think that it will earn more than $3.5 million on this upcoming Good Friday. So I think that Shazam will earn more money than X-Men First Class got on its equivalent Friday, $3.4 million. I think it'll probably earn more money on the Saturday. It'll get more than $4.4 million on the Saturday. On the Sunday, there's a good chance that it perhaps won't get more than the $4 million that X-Men First Class got on this Sunday. So that one may or may not overtake it. Okay, obviously, again, if it doesn't get more than $3.4 million on the Friday, it will definitely not earn more money on the Sunday or the Saturday. Okay, but I think at this stage, it will get more money over the whole weekend, the 3-day weekend, than we'll actually get for the X-Men First Class. Now then on the Monday coming up after that, the Easter Monday, it should also get a bit of a boost above a normal Monday at that point in time as well. Okay, so around about that time or the day before, it'll be closing in on $120 million. Okay, so it won't be at $120 million, but it'll be getting close. And if we look at the gross total for X-Men First Class for June 19th, we can see it is $120,358,086. So it'll be getting close to that, and I think it still has a chance to overtake X-Men's First Class's total box office if it's able to overtake it this weekend, or not overtake it, but if it earns more this weekend. So again, if it earns more money on the Good Friday, I think it has a really good chance of beating its total box office. If it doesn't earn more on this Good Friday coming up, yeah, I just don't think that it'll be able to earn more money than X-Men First Class. So I think around $15 million is what Shazam is looking at for the total for the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday coming up right now, which again, I'll take it to around about $119 million, maybe a little bit under that, compared to the $120 million that X-Men First Class has. So at this stage, that's what I think the estimate will be. Obviously, when Friday's numbers come out, we'll be able to have a really exact total for the weekend, but at this stage, that's where it's looking. Now, when I've said I think it'll get around about $5.7 million for the Friday, I am erring on the side of caution here and decreasing it as well. I think there's a chance it'll earn more than that. So again, my 5.7 is grossly larger than what a lot of other estimates are saying, but I still think the 5.7 could be more. So again, I got $6.3 million last Friday. There's a chance it'll earn more than that this Friday. Okay, I think it's safer to say it'll earn less than $6.3 million, but there are a lot of places saying it's going to get something like 3 to 3.5, 3.2, $3.1 million. And I think that just sounds very, very low compared to the $2.5 million it just got. I think it really should earn more than $600,000 extra from the Thursday to the Friday. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what the actual real total is. So again, Monday coming up should have a little bit of a boost for Shazam compared to what you would normally think it would get on the upcoming Monday. The Tuesday normally would get more money than the Monday, but because the Monday is probably going to be inflated, the Tuesday may actually be less than the Monday. The Tuesday will still be like a normal Tuesday if you like, but if the Monday's bigger than normal, it'll look like the Tuesday's worse because it hasn't overperformed the Monday. The Wednesday probably won't be great because in-game is out the day after, and yeah, Thursday numbers probably won't be fantastic, and then we'll see how much Shazam is actually affected by Endgame after that. It's nearing the end of its box office run anyway, so there's not a lot of money to affect, but it could still be percentage-wise decreased by a fair amount. But again, you're decreasing a small amount of money. It's not going to make a huge difference to its total box office probably, but Endgame, that's what we have coming up pretty soon. And Shazam probably just about got all the money it's going to earn pretty soon. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time.